Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the World Class Championship Wrestling Review Series. We are on September the 26th. I believe it's 26th. Yes, 1987. We are closing September. 3 months to go until we're in the final year that's available on the network. Brian Adias and Vic Steamboat start the show this week. This is not a match that a lot of people would consider great. There's nothing technically wrong with it, I suppose. But at the same time, certainly a match that, unless you are a fan of either guy, you can probably skip. Very basic in nature. Tie up both men. Steamboat, who in this particular nature does look like Brother Ricky a bit more than average. Steamboat with a hip toss takes over the his challenge for the day in Brian Adias. Adias still on top of things, and we will see the return of Kerry Von Erich, I believe, in November. I'm not there yet, but he does a workout in October, so I assume his first official match is in November. Anyway, Adias runs into, and the reason I raise that is because Adias and Kerry, I assume, would be a program they go with. Anyway, so Steamboat manages to hit some chops, and that's after Adias has run into the buckle. Adias manages to get a near fall, break things down, get a reverse chin lock on the man, goes for the spike. His hand is wrapped in an ace bandage due to the damage done by Kevin Von Erich a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week ago. And obviously, there is a victory here for Rick Steamboat, who manages to come back into the ring, manages to chase his adversary to the outside, and he ends up walking away. And anyway, we move forward into Vince Apollo and Frankie Lancaster against the Mexican Connection. Villalobos and Madril obviously are your Mexican Connection. Interesting team here, Boy Tony alongside the heel team also here, and things are interesting. I mean, it's a very basic match. Villalobos, a bit more of a star in Mexico and other territories within Texas through over the years, Blanchard's territory and the like. Maybe not as respected here as he could be. He does use a lot of agility. He does go to the top rope, cross body, 1, 2, and then we see a an Irish whip, drop kick, and the Mexican Connection taking control. I think it's smart to have a Mexican Connection here in the area because we're in Texas and there is such a high Latin population. I would have done that from the beginning, but I think that's why over the years Fritz did put a lot of Mexican talent, people in masks, even if they weren't Mexican, kind of giving that vibe for the Latin American culture and community over the years. But anyway, Villalobos spends the majority of time in the ring. Apollo spends a good bit of time too. He ends up not really being that big a guy. I guess that means that the Lancaster and Emery team is either no more or reduced. Roll up by Al Madril, run in by Boy Tony, disqualification of the Mexican Connection. Fritz does a scrapbook highlight here. Does a highlight package on how good he thinks the Simpson brothers are. I don't necessarily understand him endorsing this particular team when Kevin and Kerry are still wrestling. I think he wants more Von Erichs, doesn't have any more to produce at the moment. That's the only thing I can figure out of this. Then we go to the announcement by Gary Hart, who claims he wants fair time. He announces that Al Perez is his champion, the world champion, and he is extremely happy with this. Also, the announcement of, now get this, less than 5 months, because Iron Sheik gets caught with a cocaine failure and traveling with Jim Duggan in the end of May. We are at the beginning of October, so what? June, July, September, October, yeah, less than 4 months after getting let go by the WWF, we see the Iron Sheik coming to World Class, and Salvador Oliveras versus the Iron Sheik. Sheik comes in, Iranian flag, does that whole bit, and wants people to rise for the Iranian national anthem, yells at the crowd, does typical Iron Sheik-like things. Sheik at this point can still move around. You don't really see his mobility dying off. Probably at the same time, maybe 88, 89 is when you see him not doing so well, but he can still move here, although he doesn't like to do much. Punch, kick, and the like. Gary Hart on the outside, very happy with his investment in the Sheik. Sheik manages to hit a quick camel clutch, and we go to our main event. Matt Bourne and Al Perez is your main event this week. They are given about 10 minutes. Obviously, Perez is your world champion. Matt Bourne is a reasonable challenger. Bourne has gotten himself over pretty well as a main event guy here in World Class. I did not realize that Bourne had such a run here. Did not know it lasted as long. Bourne, a bit of a brawler for the first several minutes of this particular match. The Iron Sheik on the outside with his manager, and Al Perez does a lot of backing up. Al Perez tries to avoid Bourne. They do. Bourne does some leg trips, misses an elbow drop, choke out by Perez, and you can honestly see that Perez is willing to do whatever it takes to get the victory. Sheik very animated on the outside, cheering on who Gary Hart said in the interview would be his tag team championship partner. So look for domination of all the gold in the area. And then Perez manages to hit a few cheap shots on Bourne, tries to get an advantage over his adversary, and there goes that. So tie up and a suplex outside in, referee gone down. Bourne has the victory, but the referee doesn't respond quickly. Iron Sheik runs in, interferes, disqualification, and we close September with the Iron Sheik being the focal point of the main event in World Class. We'll be back with more right after this.